shut up, you listen to my monkey mouth. There's a companion when you got pun on the canoa route. Hopped in a portal and got in a fight. Elias knocked him out. Bow, Naruto fighting style. Bow, UFC he tapped out. Bow, we win, we get crowned. Monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth.
Them Portal Boys be podcasting. This is Joshua.
And this is Elias.
And on this episode, we're going to be covering Season 2, Episode 10 of Rick and Morty, The Wedding Squanchers.
Yeah, so...
How fantastic is this fucking episode?
I mean, it's definitely one of those that, man, it's just, you just gotta, you just have to watch this one with, like, it's good to watch it with, like, you know, kind of like fresh eyes.
Oh, the first time you see it, it's crazy because a lot is established.
Yeah.
Like, a lot is established this episode. That Rick's I think this is the first time they ever really, like, clearly defined Rick as an interstellar terrorist.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's really great. Like, you know, you get this, you get the breakfast scene again, right? And then, so Jerry is immediately, like, talking about the milk to cereal ratio, which I can respect that, you know?
The trick is keeping the cereal 70% above the milk. Jerry, get a job.
Get a job.
I love that whenever the doorbell rings, Rick is like, hey, man, you should go get the door because you're the man of the house and you don't have a job. Like,
yeah,
they just keep shitting on that dude so hard.
Every chance to just, like, kind of just put that dagger in just a little deeper.
How fun of an idea is the courier flap?
And it's less intrusive, or what is it, less
off-putting?
Less off-putting than like, the U.S. Postal Service.
The mailman type shit.
Like, who knows what Dan Harmon's, like, beef against the mailman is, you know?
Who knows? It was just less off-putting. He doesn't like dealing with people, probably. He's a fucking hermit.
Just the fact that,
wouldn't you rather have a courier flap?
Just a courier flap that, like, he literally does, like, and he's just so above everything. He just digs in there, pulls out the egg.
How cool is it exactly he sent the invite. Yeah. They literally cracked like a hologram message out of a fucking bird egg type shit.
It was so cool, man. I just the ideas that just, like, are propagated in these madmen's heads about, like, the different things that they create, you know?
Yeah, I mean, from a courier flap to a hologram message that's cracked out of a giant bird egg to literally Planet Squanch.
Yeah.
And I love that the way that they wound up getting roped into having to go to Planet Squanch is that Rick tries to tell the courier flap to buzz off, and the family's like, no, come back. And Rick winds up being like, what would you know about friendship, Jerry? And confirmed, ship Jerry.
And he just, like, gets sucked into the flap. Like, he gets pulled into the flap.
It literally, like, just gobbles him up so quick.
Like,
there's no time to think for nobody.
Takes off immediately. And so I love how it's just kind of this quiet ride. Like, the girls.
Well, the family's freaking out.
Yeah.
They was like, what the fuck is happening to Jerry? And Rick's like, great, now we have to go to a wedding. Like, the only thing he gives a fuck about is being inconvenienced by going to the wedding. He doesn't even care about Jerry one bit.
But what I love, though, the great thing about it is just the quiet, like space travel ride.
And they're all like they're all like generally content and happy, but Rick is just like fucking butthurt.
Like, you see Summer with, like, this big cheesy smile on her face and, like, her little gown and, like, you know,
the whole family's like
just
that.
Like, just everybody's just kind of, like, just excited to
except
get
for
out.
Rick.
You know, Rick is just, like, chewing nails.
Now, you know, Beth is super excited to even be a part of this part of Rick's life at all. She even mentions it later in the episode to Jerry, where it's like, this is the closest I've ever gotten to this part of my dad's life. I don't want you screwing this up.
He's like, he starts networking immediately. He's like, you know, he, like, shakes. I don't even know if he's able to shake its hand. Like, he, like, literally, I think, like,
it puts his hand out, but it's, like, so alien.
Yeah, it's just like, and she's like, stop networking, Jerry. Like, we're on another planet.
Get a job. Don't try and get a job at an alien wedding. I don't know how to keep up with you type shit.
And so,
before that happened, though, they land and they get greeted by Squanch, which is, I believe, it's the first time we ever got to meet Squanchy.
I think it is the first time we get to meet Squanch.
Yeah. And so the Squanch people basically.
Was Squanch at any of the parties before?
You know what he was?
I think he was at a party.
He was jacking off in the closet. Remember?
That's right.
Yeah. So we have met Squanch before.
This is like the first, like, this is like a true introduction to the Squanch, like the whole language and, like, the Squanch kind of like how to use.
I mean, this is literally on Planet Squanch.
Yeah, so,
the wedding is literally on Planet Squanch.
Yeah, I mean, even the people handing out hors d'oeuvres are like squanch, like people squanch, little like.
Would you squanch an hors d'oeuvre?
Yeah, would you squanch an hors d'oeuvre? Yeah.
And I love it. They've got the like Smurf things going.
Yeah.
It's
so it's like, doesn't it get like a little derivative, like to
get a little tedious,
like to say squanch, and she's and like. Rick is there to like defend his friend. He's like, well, there's like a general motif of like, you know, you just say what's in your squanch, like, and so she's like,
people get it.
So she's like, I squanch my family, and he's
like, she's like, what? I squanch my family, and they're like, quit fucking saying it,
like drop it,
leave that shit at the door,
like,
fam. Whoa. And that's whenever Jerry lands, and she just like throws his tuxedo at him, and he's like, you can't be mad at me. I just got transported here against my will in a meatball.
So, like, I need Jerry, like, this season coming up to, like, say, like, fam and no cap.
He has an affinity to using his urban... what do you call it? A patois?
Yeah, urban patois. Yeah,
something like that.
So,
he likes it. He's a linguist, man. He's fluent in Ebonics.
There's definitely some dank memes with like no cap and like all these like horror. I mean, like,
bro, how offensive is the concept of Ebonics? And the fact that it was made by a white man too. I met a girl one time who said that her uncle was like the dude who did that, and I was like, I wouldn't tell people that.
Well, the funny thing,
like,
is,
what the fuck? What the fuck? That's not cool.
The best, like older movie that's probably not. I mean, it's probably like so. It's like Blazing Saddles in the sense like no one is going to be able to sit through it without being somewhat. Having their feelings or being offensive, but like that old lady talking jive on Airplane. Have you ever seen that? Oh man, I have to share that with you now. So it's like basically it's
like a fucking random video from the internet.
Well, no, it's a movie called Airplane, and so this guy's like having a panic attack on the airplane, and it's like set back like in like the 70s, you know, like it's like it's like naked,
back whenever they would still clap for the captain when he lands the plane.
Yeah, so it's like Naked Gun. National Lampoon's kind of movie, and so he's like yo Cat Daddy, this guy is going through a real thing, and like he's just like talking his jive, he's talking jive, and the stewardess is like, bro, I like man, I don't speak jive, and this little white lady comes up and is like, oh, don't worry, I speak jive. He's like, calm down, cool cat, this bird gonna be taking off real fine, and then he's like, no, mama, I'm not feeling too hot, and she's like, and so she basically like calls him like a bitch, like in like this slang, and like, you know, don't be coming at me, and then just walks away. It's like, I have to share it with you because it's like the now equivalent of us like going, hello fellow youths, isn't today no cap?
And how the fuck does this relate to what we were just talking about?
Just the squanch, using that language, you know, using squanch and how she used it.
The flexibility of language. Oh, yeah. Well, I started talking shit about Ebonics.
Yeah, and so I started talking about jive.
That's how the chain happened. Yeah. Okay. Because, man, we got a little down the rabbit hole there. I was like, man, we're
jive, Ebonics, and
like, man, we're talking about Rick and Morty right now? What the fuck? Or with like a lady on an airplane in the 70s talking jive? What?
If you don't like, let's see, if you don't like Naked Gun or Airplane.
I literally don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You've never seen any of the Naked Gun movies? Like Dead and Loving It, Naked Gun.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Man. Whenever you say these things, there's like a fucking big gray void. Smooth. It gives me smooth brain whenever I try and think about this shit. There's nothing there. There are no neural synapses there to like create anything.
Leslie Nelson is like...
Who the fuck is Leslie Nelson?
Leslie Nelson is the star of all the Naked Guns and like Dead and Loving It and Airplane. He's just this like hilarious old man who made like these really like...
Leslie's a dude?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
I was about to joke about how she wasn't gonna fuck you. He's not gonna fuck you.
Dude, he's probably dead.
God damn. Why are we talking about this? This is a fucking history class. We're supposed to be talking about modern things here, bro.
No, man, it's so great. No cap, bro. Things on fleek. Whatever.
Your fucking digression into 1970s fucking cinema is cap, bro. I ain't trying to fucking deal with that no more, bro.
So she basically uses Squanch in such a
Bird person's grandma fought a squirrel for a pine cone, and that's now Tammy's fucking wedding emerald.
I love it.
And then Jerry talks with Tammy's parents.
Oh, so like
who turn out to be cyborgs.
Yeah, well, like, they come up and you can tell they're cyborgs. Like, come on. Like,
I mean, they might just be the most generic white people. I feel like, they had the same energy that the family from what's the movie with it's like it's a black lead role. It's made by like one of the guys from Key and Peele.
Are you talking about Get Out?
Yeah.
Yeah, such a great movie.
Yeah, it's like the same energy as the Get Out family. You know what I'm saying?
Like kind of robotic, stick up the ass.
Everything's hoity-toity right now.
Little Ned Flanders in there.
You know what? I had a friend who was trying to explain to me this energy. It was like, if we go visit my aunt, you gotta understand that, like, they're gonna be there to, like, make you drinks and, like, be super great hosts, and, like, they might throw you in a dungeon in the evening type shit, like. And it upset his old lady so bad because she didn't get it. And I think that next time I see that, I'm going to be like, bro, remember that conversation we were having where you were trying to explain the weirdness of your fucking family and it really upset your old lady? It's Get Out.
Yeah.
White family energy, bro.
It's just like everything has this tinge of flavorless mayonnaise on it.
Yeah, it's like everything's been so whitewashed that it's like the 7-Eleven of people. It's like the corporate office for 7-Eleven. If you were to like personify,
one Mexican or black person gets in there and they're like, "Ooh, this is spicy."
Yeah, like, we're saying the right things. We employed the right people today. But
okay, so like. The best part is like she shows her the ring and she's fawning over a pine cone, which is so great. Summer's energy with like this whole thing is just spectacular.
Oh, she's
such
pumped.
A girl about
she's fucking pumped for her friend.
She's just so pumped about it. It's so great, and we have like just a sour ass, just pessimistic, Rick, just like.
This is not BP's big day. BP's big day was that Blood Ridge on Glop Drop 9 against the Gronklamites type shit.
Yeah, he's definitely like, he's not about anything, celebrating this at all. Like, to him, it's just a sham. He doesn't want to be a part of it.
Well, I mean, literally later on in his speech, he's like, yo, I can turn a fucking sun into a black hole, and I couldn't make it work. So, like,
but I mean,
what are the chances that this isn't just like one big lie we all tell ourselves because we're terrified of dying alone? Because
is what we do.
Die alone. And I love how his speech was like intentionally meant to be ad-libbed and improv. It was like something, stammer off, burp, ad-lib. Was like the note for how to do his speech.
He takes that and tosses it dramatically, like, I don't need this.
He does. Well, I mean, once he got to the ad lib point, it's like, all right, I'm here. That's where I'm supposed to be. One of my favorite jokes of the whole episode is whenever Rick is sitting at the bar, and Morty walks up and gives him his dumbass grandson pep talk, and he's like, and it actually gets through to him. Like, he kind of like opens up. Is what gives him his speech. It's like if BP loves Tammy, I love Tammy. Like, he like tried to be a person.
Yeah.
And like Morty got through to him, but I love that whenever he's like,
hey, barkeep.
Yeah, can I get a dumbass grandson pep talk? It's a whole bunch of advice about shit you know nothing about and a lot of vodka. He was like, I got a lot of vodka.
Yeah, he just like turns back, and I don't digress again, but like. Just him cleaning
as long as it isn't fucking 1970s cinema trivia time, bro.
No, this is
not the fucking flavor I signed up for. I'll teabag that whole conversation, bro.
No, this is another movie. This is but it's about interstellar.
It's a whole other movie. Is it from the 70s, motherfucker?
No, it's brand new. In interstellar travel, and so the robot is cleaning a glass, and he's like, all the glasses in here are clean. I'm literally the only person awake in this interstellar travel. Like, why do you keep cleaning a glass? And he's like, I do this to make you feel more comfortable, And so, literally, the same thing happens on, on the Squanch planet. Like, he's literally just cleaning a glass, doing barkeep stuff just to keep that
to create the ambiance.
Yeah, to create the ambiance, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, I mean, I think.
You sure the barkeep didn't just actually have glasses to clean? He's serving an entire wedding.
Oh, he may have, yeah. But I'm just saying, it's just like, it's one of those things that's like kind of like quintessential across all like kind of like things where you see like a barkeep just kind of cleaning.
Oh, he's doing the thing.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah,
he's definitely doing the thing.
Yeah. So, and there's this like really great like, so it kind of pans to Beth trying to like pull information, not really trying, but like just kind of like warming up to Bird Person. I mean, like,
I don't think she was trying to get information on a Bird Person. I think she was trying to bitch. She was literally like complaining the whole time, and the whole time Bird Person's actually giving her real like solid nuggets of information about her father that she's never known, and it's just like water off a duck's back. It never enters her brain that
you're right. That is true.
It never enters her brain that her dad's a terrorist. It never enters her brain that like there were like 5 or 6 concise points, and Beth she just didn't get any of them.
Beth is, Rick. So to her, it's about her love and her lack of,
Oh, it was 1,000% about her, and what I loved at
her lack of adult or her like parent, her child maturity.
She was talking about whatever she was wanting to talk about, and she wasn't intaking anything from the other side of the conversation. And I love that whenever Bird Person's finally like and walks off, she's like talking to a brick wall, and it's like y'all two are the same fucking person in conversation. Like, Bird Person never once remarked on the things that you said. Mm-hmm. You never once remarked on the things that Bird Person said. Like, y'all were both just like had points y'all wanted to get across and weren't really interested in conversating.
And I think like it's just like this last like kind of benign comment. Oh, what is this? It's earthworm pate, and then just kind of like stage left,
That's funny.
Yeah.
Earthworm pate. That's great.
Just like earthworm pate, stage left, out of the conversation.
How neat is it that Squanchy was actually the one who married BP and
Tammy? And he's like, and it's almost like very, very Catholic central religion. Like, it's like in the name of the Squanch.
They got the vestments.
It's very Catholic-esque.
It's definitely
and
been
in 7 balls, I think.
It's definitely art replicating life at that point for sure. I love the cyborg photographer. I'm not staring at you. I'm a cyborg photographer. This is a candid shot. I do not require a camera. And it's just like,
and the guy's
leave me the fuck alone.
The guy's like, please. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
How funny is it too that the fucking Galactic Federation has like a police intake version of that same robot.
Yeah, and the funny thing is
taking the mug shots.
I love how, I guess because the Galactic Federation loves money so much that it's almost like a piss poor version. Like, it doesn't have quite a full human face. It's like half human.
It's the bare bones version.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Apple SE.
Yes.
Yeah,
so then at this point, Rick gives his speech. He stammers off and ad-libs. And I love it. He says, what are the odds of this marriage being legit, and it's not just a big lie we tell ourselves because we're all afraid of dying alone, which is like one of the fucking funnest lines of the whole episode.
So in what point through this whole thing did she actually fall in love with Bird Person? Because there's generally a care and compassion.
I don't think they show that, right? Yeah, like, it just happens somewhere between. It happens somewhere between here and there, for sure.
Yeah, because she brings them back as Phoenix Person, and they seem to still have. I mean,
she wanted it to be Cyberbird.
Yes.
You told us to just do whatever, just bring him back to life. And she's like, but Phoenix Person.
Yeah. So.
PP.
PP.
We're not calling you that, man. We're not calling you that.
So. There's like a general, like, seems to be like a love for Bird Person BP. So,
he's his best friend. Yeah, like whenever, so Squanch rips off Rick's BFF bracelet, right? Because
that is the greatest part ever. I had to remark on that. That just made me laugh. And like,
so sad.
He's just like throws it on the table, just like, that. I can't say that I mean, I think that's happened to everybody, where you kind of invested in a relationship, a friendship, and it's completely like, You know, there's definitely a consensus of love and respect for each other, but one is giving it 110.
There are entire Reddit threads dedicated to whenever you realize that you weren't your best friend's best friend.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what just happened. Is Squanch just realized that he wasn't his best friend's best friend.
To move on into a later episode, he legit is like not like I don't think there's a sexual attraction to him, but there's a deep-seated love and respect. Like, he knows Bird Person could complete his
he's the missing puzzle. He's the missing piece to his puzzle.
Yeah, and he wants so much for Bird Person to traverse the cosmos with him, but he's got Morty, you know?
Well, I mean, he found someone he actually trusts. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust for Rick Sanchez is like on a super premium, bro. Like, that's like man, you gained Rick Sanchez's trust, like, fucking fucking bow. But at this point, Tammy reveals that she's a deep cover agent for the Galactic Federation and everyone's under arrest. Yeah. This building is in a certain sense surrounded. And I love that Beth, again, didn't even hear the fact that her dad and BP are fucking galactic terrorists. And she was just like, what's going on? And Jerry's like, I'll explain it later.
Yeah,
like Jerry,
well, he's like, there's like supposed to be context, right? Because there's supposed to be like read between the lines of like this like loving homage to BP. And so she doesn't get like the context of it. So somehow he's going to explain the context of it. But she's just remarking.
The bottom line is they're both idiots.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like, at least she knew she didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And Jerry thought he understood it and was wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're both dumbasses in their own way. She fucking kills BP and Rick. Like, BP, no! Like, he's like, like an actual sense of like, fucking really concerned, like he's usually gonna give a shit, and he was like, wow, my buddy just died.
And so he immediately goes into
well, hell breaks loose entirely.
Mode.
I mean there's an entire like 17 members of the wedding party
and they all are packing heat. It's so great. Everybody's packing. Like, they all they don't come here not knowing that they didn't come there, and they came knowing that they're intergalactic terrorists, and they were all ready for something to go down.
Stay ready, that way you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the vibe. I love that Rick used his portal gun as a big flashbang.
Yeah, it was so great.
Like, put it on the ground, okay.
And he just like kind of clicks this little dial, and then she just goes completely blind. It sucks a bunch of the intergalactic what do they call it?
Gronklomites.
Yeah, Gronklomites into the actual like portal.
Creates like a portal vortex.
And just like completely eviscerates them.
And Rick goes on a rampage, kills the fuck out of grabs one of their guns, empties a clip, hits everybody. Actually, he's got his upgrades.
Yeah,
so Rick don't miss.
Yeah, he don't.
And so every bullet's like a dead fucking Gronklomite.
Yeah.
And he runs out of ammo, bro, and is like such a fucking thug. He was about to straight up make his last stand. Like, he looked around and was like, alien guitar, my weapon now. Yeah. And like was charging in.
I think she ends up shooting the gun in half on one of the occasions. Like, he clears a clip, shoots another couple guns, clears another clip, grabs a gun, gets split in half, grabs a guitar, last stand. And she's like, just.
Well, so she didn't really have a chance to say anything, because that's whenever Squanchy comes in, and he's like,
breaks that.
He's like, you get your fucking family out of here, bro. There ain't no time to squanch.
Yeah.
It's on Squanchy now.
Yeah.
And Squanchy pops out one of his fucking teeth and eats it and turns into a fucking squanch.
Yeah, he's just like. He's squanching.
Are you ready for a taste of our squanch?
He's like squanching through that place hardcore. And then he like grabs one and like picks it up and just like drops it.
Rips one in half, steps on Tammy.
Yeah, he literally
like Tammy's literally pinned under his foot.
Yeah, and then this time they're able to get to the catering truck. They're able to get to the catering ship, right? And so it's
like a van. It's like a fucking space van.
Yeah, it's a space catering van. And so they get there, and then we have Tammy's mom and dad,
who are really just robots.
Robots chasing after them, and
they take off, and like they're hanging by the bumper. And Jerry's like, good thing I brought this space gun, and it's a fucking confetti gun.
He cannot win.
But it's like, he has the right idea.
Yeah.
He had the right idea. I'm not mad at him for like wanting to act the way he wanted to act. He just can't execute.
Yeah,
he just lacks the capacity to execute on a good plan, even if he fucking falls into a good plan.
I mean, the man brought lacquer. And...
Well, what did you just say?
Remember, he brings lacquer. He's like, we can lacquer ourselves on another episode.
What
like, he has lacquer. He's always, like, he has good intentions, and they never work out. He has, like, we can put the lacquer on and we'll be safe.
Talking about varnish, bro?
Varnish.
What the fuck is lacquer?
Varnish.
Is that actual word?
Yeah, lacquer.
Bro, you're blowing my mind today. Is that another word from the 1970s,
Probably.
bro? Are you a fucking time traveler, bro?
I am a time traveler, man.
God damn. You're gonna fucking do too many podcasts and out yourself, bro. You gotta keep your fucking jargon with the current times, bro. No one remembers lacquer. I don't think I could go to the
so
HEB and be
lacquer's
like,
not cap anymore?
I would be like, no, lacquer is cap. That's some fucking bullshit. But like, I don't think I could go to the Home Depot and be like, yes, I'd like to purchase some lacquer.
Why are you whispering?
And they'd be like, I'm just, because it's creepy, bro. It's like the fact that you're talking. Yeah, I'm trying to create a disincentive for you, right? Like if you're gonna talk about weird shit, it's gonna get fucking weird, bro.
I need some lacquer.
Yeah.
So sniff it on a rag.
I'm gonna fucking. Does this smell like chloroform to you, Bree? Does this smell like chloroform?
So okay, they get the he has varnish on him. At least he's trying, and that even screws him over.
Well, he at least like tried to share it first, and then he fucked over everybody.
Yeah.
But how crazy is it how they get rid of the animatronic parents? Rick just like pulls a switch and like the earthworm pate hits them in the face and they fucking fall, and then he does
it again, and it literally just covers the entire windshield of the Galactic Federation ship and is able to crash into the other one.
Yes,
it's so great.
And they literally make a getaway against like the equivalent of intergalactic fucking cop cruisers.
Yeah.
In the equivalent of an intergalactic fucking catering van. So like it shouldn't have worked.
Shouldn't have worked. But I mean, you have Rick on hand, so it's gonna work, you know.
When they're flying, Jerry's like, "Is there something we should know?" And he's like, "Everything seems to be pretty fucking straightforward. They think they control the galaxy. I disagree."
Yeah.
Like, man, I fucking get it, Rick. God damn it, fuck the government.
So I mean,
fuck you, fuck the government, fuck me for letting my guard down, and fuck you, Morty. Like, just fuck everybody.
And then I think he also says, fuck you, Summer.
Well, he says, fuck you, Summer. It's the original fuck you to Summer. And then Summer's like, you can't say fuck you to your granddaughter. And I'll say fuck you to anybody I want. And here's a side serving of fuck you. Like, fuck everybody right now. Well, one of the one people in the whole everywhere that I care about just got killed because he let his guard down.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I am learning that lesson today.
The man was right, and be as pissed off as you want about it, he was right, and that's the truth.
Well, what is it Morty says in a later episode? It doesn't matter if you're right, no one wants to give you the gratitude if you're an asshole about it.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah. And so that's a lesson that he's still yet to learn. I love that whenever, so it comes out to, they're like, we want to go home. Rick's like, ain't no going home.
Yeah, there's like...
That shit's a no-go now. If you go there, they're going to hook the intergalactic equivalent of jumper cables up to your balls and or labia, and they're going to hook it up to the equivalent of an intergalactic car battery, and they're going to torture you until you either make up a lie or you tell them the truth. And they're not going to believe you. Like, you're not going to know where I'm at, and they're not going to believe that from you.
Yeah.
And so...
You're done.
You're going to get tortured indefinitely. Who wants to go back to Earth by show of applause?
And then Summer proceeds to just bawl. Like, she just cries.
Yeah, I mean, everything she knows is
done,
and so he logs onto the computer and he's like, how many planets are there that are at least 80% Earth-like? And there's like 700 some odd. And he's like, well, how many of those are outside of Galactic Federation jurisdiction?
It was 3. And he's like, our cup runneth over.
And that it does. And so they run up on Tiny Planet, and he's like, well, "How about that? Looks pretty good. Hey, you wouldn't even know it in Earth." And Morty's like, "Yeah, there's no Africa."
And he's like, "That's
white people problems." Which, white people problems, there being no Africa. Think on that one, motherfucker.
That takes me back to the episode whenever he creates the saw thing. He creates like the saw.
Are you sawing the Vindicators?
Yeah, and he does this all the time, and he also goes on a tirade about Israel, and he's like, okay, but like, where do I stand on it?
He's like, it's definitely not an anti-Semitic way. Like, I'm probably just so supportive of Israel that I just...
It's just like...
Crockeybot's like, I don't have any fucking...
I don't, like, just not touching
this is not our table, man.
So great, man.
But so, they literally pull up and, like, hit the planet. Like, boom, hit the planet. And they're like, well, I thought I was a little further away.
I think that there's it's similar to, I think there's like a kind of like a Futurama episode where they literally hit an entire planet and it's like gets washed upon the windshield, you know? It was like perspective.
That's lit.
You know? That's
what straight Horton, here's the who shit.
Exactly. It's like plat, and then they just kind of hit it with the windshield. Devastated an entire planet the size of a marble.
That's fantastic. Or as
I like to call them, shooting circles.
Oh my god. So the next planet they go to is Cobb Planet.
So great.
Everything's on a cob. We gotta go now. Go. Like, motherfucking Rick was not about that. Yeah, everything on a cob life. Like, and they never elaborate on it. They like walk.
But even everybody seems to be kind of turned off by the cob world. I mean, like, they're kind of down with it at the beginning, but then once it gets down to the cellular structure of everything being cob, they're like, let's get out of here. Which I would have loved to have like elaborated, like, a cob spider, a cob bird. Like,
well, I'm like, why is that bad for y'all?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Why can't y'all eat fucking...
strawberries on a cob.
Yeah, like, why can't y'all eat corn on a cob on a cob?
Corn on a cob on a cob.
Why is that bad? Like, what? But, you know, one of the things, it's like, it's got that, like, big Chad energy, right? Like, they kick in the door, they drop a fucking bomb in the room, they refuse to elaborate, and they leave.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're left to chew on it. And so... they wind up going to the third planet, which is the Screaming Sun planet that has 42-hour-long days. And they obviously decide to choose Tiny Planet because who wants to live on a planet where the sun is literally screaming for 42 hours straight?
I think is like, at a certain point, I think they walk around the entire Earth, right? Until they find out, like, that it's that small. Like
so they build a little house, and the family is chilling in the house watching interdimensional cable.
Yeah.
And while they're doing that, Rick goes exploring, finds the South Pole, finds the core of the Earth, and the core of the Earth is literally sitting just like a few feet under the house, and so he's able to eavesdrop on the conversation.
The best part is that the Galactic Federation News is doing like a update about how they've basically taken over Earth, and they also kind of throw in like a what is that, tourism like spot between the news ads. So
it's the 6,048th planet to join the Galactic Federation, the plucky little planet called Earth, which is comprised primarily of water and dirt, where it gets its name from, worships kangaroos, and eats spaghetti. Sounds like a wonderful time. If you want to visit, go to the Ministry of Tourism type shit. And then it's like, the kids these days are doing, and it's not what it sounds like.
I love that, like, so like Matt Groening's like take on bureaucracy in Futurama is that Hermes loves it. Like, Hermes eats up bureaucracy.
Well, Hermes is that guy, that's why he's a human resource manager.
He eats up bureaucracy. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is like, bureaucracy is not only like a form of hell and torture, but like it's essentially there's almost like a government organization that takes care of everything. It has to be like triple duplicated, stamped 100 times, buried 6 feet underground, and like dug up by their mother. You know, it's just like this whole wild shit. I love bureaucracy kind of like taken to this like nth degree. Even like heavy metal, where they're in the courtroom and you kind of get to see their take on bureaucracy, and it's really interesting, like where it's taken in different, like the artist kind of like rendition of like how terrible bureaucracy is. I think even like, you know, the DMV is hell in certain instances.
That's,
you know?
great. It is hell. That place is fucking garbage.
Like, it's just the lack of imagination in a bureaucracy that has so much imagination is hilarious to me.
It's ironic.
Yeah, it's very ironic.
Irony is the essence of comedy.
Yeah.
And so it's ironic, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's the bottom line. But so Rick is sitting under the house, and they're like bitching about how they had to hunt hogs to extinction for bacon.
Yeah, he's like, I think like there's at a certain point Jerry's like, so that the bacon gets brought up, and he's like,
there is no more bacon.
No more bacon.
This planet fucking sucks. And then he pitches snitching, and the family basically shuts him. Like, man, we love Rick. We're not going to do that. And Rick kind of has like this moment of introspection.
Yeah.
And decides what he's going to do, and it basically like cuts to the next morning. And Morty's playing Frisbee with himself. He's
throwing.
It reminds me of the scene in Invincible whenever Omni-Man and Mark are throwing the ball back and forth, and they're throwing it all the way around the planet to one another. Same energy. But Rick walks up and tells him that he's going to go to the Gloppy Drop system for ice cream. And Morty just immediately knows what's up. Like, he's like, hey, man, I can handle it if you leave. But it's going to break Mom's heart, and I won't forgive you for that if you do it. And he's just like, where's the van?
He's like, well, are you coming back? He's like, well, I'm going out for ice cream. He goes, so that means I'm coming back.
Yeah, like if you just go to where ice cream is and don't come back, then you're not going and getting ice cream. You're just going to where ice cream is.
Yeah. So great.
At this point, the 9 Inch Nails hurt drops, and it basically plays through the rest of the fucking episode.
Beautiful, like, great. I mean,
it was poign't.
So great.
They did good. It made it feel fucking artsy, Brie.
Yeah.
It was like high art, Brie. It was like it should be in a museum art, Brie, with the music, dog.
The funny thing is that there's like there's these two. There's like, I wouldn't say it doesn't exist. It exists less and less now, thanks to like Rick and Morty, Futurama. But there really is this there is this negative connotation where like these things cannot directly influence emotions, and it's such a ridiculous take. Like Futurama. When you're saying these things, what are you talking about? Like cartoons. I apologize. Cartoons cannot derive like this real like. These kind of cartoons. I'm not talking about Disney or Pixar. I'm talking about specifically like these kind of like cartoons.
Those people just aren't watching it right.
Yeah.
They're just not watching it correctly.
Like if you don't feel something for Fry's dog, like literally waiting for him outside of... that
was a fucking difficult scene, bro.
Yeah, man. Or if you're not down to like understand the hurt that he's going through, like losing Bird Person, turning himself in, watching Squanch like have to turn into like Squanch,
Oh, bro, if I'm like being 1,000% honest, the scene at the end of one of the episodes, I can't remember which episode it is, where he brings that blob from under his.
Oh, that was the Unity episode.
Yeah,
that was a powerful episode.
Yeah, I mean, he brings that little dude to life, gives him some love, and immediately kills him, and then like contemplates doing it for himself. And then there's another scene where whenever Space Beth and Regular Beth walk out on him, and he's left there by himself. No one even wants to watch the big reveal with him, and he's left there to watch him reveal to himself how shitty he is, and like he just has to sit there and fucking live with that. And then also the King of Shit.
Oh yeah.
Whenever he has and earlier in the episode where he's like, I thought about what you said and why you said it and who you were really saying it to. And then he had to sit there and endure that message that he'd crafted. That was like the contents of his heart. Like he put his heart into that art, and then he had to sit there and endure it and realize that like that's who he is.
Well, I mean,
like they do good, man. Like if you don't fucking feel for Rick Sanchez in some of these moments, bro, like you're either not paying attention or you're a fucking.
And the fact that
you're I don't know what you're missing, but you're not clicking with it because there's supposed to be something there for sure.
The fact that he was able, I mean, he literally saw his wife get destroyed by himself.
Well, and his daughter, like in C-137 Rick, his wife and daughter were both killed by what would eventually grow into the Citadel of Ricks. Like the same,
and
like
and it's understanding of why he hates the Citadel of Ricks so much and why he pushes against any government form. He says it himself. It doesn't matter if it's if he's the Rickest of Rick in any situation. He doesn't need a Galactic Federation, and he doesn't need the
Council of
Ricks because it's slavery with more steps. You know?
Yeah, I mean he said it in episode 1. I don't like bureaucracy. I don't like being told what to do and where to go. I take it as a personal affront.
Yeah.
And like I fucking felt that in my heart. Like that episode, that line, I was like, all right, this show's for me.
Yeah,
got it. But
they're not. I thought you said they were robots. They are robots.
It's like they're not robots. They're bureaucrats. I have no respect for them.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
But so Rick calls the galactic government,
he calls as Jerry.
Turns himself in as Jerry.
He likes big old balls.
I like to lick disgusting hairy testicle sacks.
And he's like, I like how the Galactic Federation police officer on the other side's like,
okay. All
right.
right.
Like, all right. He's just got to get that on wax. He's got to get that on some kind of recordings.
Ricks cannot help but fuck with Jerry's, and it is just
it's in their blood.
It is just in their blood, exactly. Yeah. And so he does manage to secure a safe passage home for the family.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, I'm doing the right thing here by turning this full in. Like, I at least want to make sure that I can have like my life back whenever I return home, to which they agree. He goes and gets a drink. He looks at a picture of himself, BP, and Squanch.
At a strip club.
Yeah, finishes his drink, just drops the photo, lugs some coins onto the fucking counter, and walks right out. Have you seen the movie Blow?
No, that's what's his name?
You want to talk to me about not having watched motherfucking Airplane, and you ain't seen Blow?
I have, but to say I've seen it, I was probably like maybe 13 or 14 at the time.
How old were you whenever you were watching Airplane, motherfucker?
Oh man, I don't know. That's a comedy, so I could probably go back to that at any point, and it comes on all the time. Blow's one of those.
It comes on all the time. What? Where does it come on all the time? Are you at the laundromat watching the black and white channels? Or are you fucking watching John Wayne too?
I do.
This motherfucker is watching John Wayne.
Dude,
son of a bitch. I got me rethinking everything right now. I don't know if this is the motherfucker right here, guys. This motherfucker right here from the past, bro. He's time traveling son of a bitch. You and Keanu Reeves, bro.
Okay, so
why don't you tell me about Charlie Chaplin? Why don't you tell me about what it was like when the Flapper Girl started going and voting for Taft?
Taft's so dreamy.
Motherfucker got stuck in his own tub.
Blow is a Johnny Depp vehicle where he's. But
listen, the point is that there is a point that Blow basically ends whenever he goes and sets up one big final lick.
Yeah.
And he goes to take a piss, and he comes back and realizes that his knife is gone. When he realizes his knife is gone, he realizes that the dudes at the table are federal agents, and they had proactively disarmed him when he got back. And he kind of sits there, gathers himself for a second, and he's like, all right, send him in. Yeah. And it's the same energy, right? Homie knew he was going down for a long time for some heinous shit, and he was just like, let's fucking go. Let's do it.
There's another one that's similar to that, kind of just the defeat and kind of sinking in real good. And that's it's Tom Cruise does the I don't know if you've ever seen, it's like the Cocaine Cowboys movie, but through Tom Cruise kind of plays one of the Cocaine Cowboys, where they're basically bringing cocaine from
him and the big white guy, right?
Yeah.
Which that guy lost a ton of weight.
Yeah,
that guy's like a beast now. Have you seen that dude?
Oh, he's insanely.
Yeah, he's like a fucking.
Yeah,
beast
he got up one day and he's like I can't do this anymore.
Fuck this. Fuck that.
So. Yeah, that's a great one of those same kind of things. He's cashing all his checks with working with the government. He just doesn't have anywhere to go. He doesn't have any he's pulled every thread that he could, and he just kind of has to sit there and defeat. Which it's poetic. It's sad, It's
a heck of a spot to be in. Yeah. Let me tell you. But so. the family arrives back on Earth, and like immediately there's aliens everywhere. It's now like part of the Galactic Federation. They're like, how long? They're like, how long are you going to be visiting? Like, oh, we're from here. We were just off planet whenever like this whole thing happened. They're like, oh, cool. You like shove them into a thing and it like grabs them against their will and like fucking prods their tongue and like DNA identifies them. Mm-hmm. It understands who they are and they literally shove them out of the building.
And I think that's whenever you get to see like the SE version of the photo, the photo like bot thing.
That's at the very end. So between here and there, a robot walks up and scans Jerry and is like, I've determined that you're stressed.
That was the little robot.
Yeah, I've determined that you're stressed. I've prescribed you antidepressants. Here you go. And he's like, I feel better now. And he's like, you've got 7,000 Fed credit debt. You need to go to the Ministry of Employment to find employment. And Jerry's like, I found a job. Like, he's like...
Picks up Beth, like...
What I think is funny is that in this type of environment where there is too many rules, too much bureaucracy, no right to privacy, no like everything that like an independent person would be holding dear, like a Rick holds dear, he does terrible in these situations. But Jerry,
he thrives.
Oh, he's thriving. Yeah. Oh, this is his moment.
Yeah,
and like understand that like the guy who like works at the fucking front desk at the fucking Justice of the Peace Court is a Jerry. Yeah. Like all those dudes who work for the state are the Jerrys. Man.
I literally saw the article that you were talking about. It was actually...
The fucking article are you talking about?
Just listen. I literally heard the article you were talking about not too long ago about the cops not being too, like, you can't be too smart to be a police officer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I literally saw that article. Like, I was, like, scrolling through Facebook and that, like, it just, like, happened to, like, come across because I like... subscribe to a lot of those auditors.
It happened because your phone heard me talking about it.
No, but I also subscribe to a lot of the auditors.
Yeah, so the First and Second Amendment auditors or whatever.
So I watch a lot of them, so it just like kind of picked up in the algorithm of us probably talking to me, watching the...
Well, neat. Some social validation.
Yeah, so it was just like it was like I said, a crystallized version of exactly what you were talking about.
It's like, oh wow, there's like a literal headline out of the blue that like validates what homie's talking about.
Yeah.
It's nice that the internet summoned that for you.
Yeah.
But so they get scanned, and at this point, they get the Fed credits, and like Jerry's thriving, and then it shows us Rick getting processed into the jail. Mm-hmm. That's when he gets the robot. I'm not staring at you. I'm a fucking photographer. I don't need a camera. And he gets locked in like these. Like the way they imprison these motherfuckers is pretty legit. They're like in like their hands and legs are binded. They're basically it's in like a little fucking like single serving bed that they hold you on. And like his cellmate, and it's funny because I've been to jail, and the first thing that anybody ever asks you is what you in for, and he looks at what you in for, and everything. And then like the fucking 9 Inch Nails beat drops, and the season's over.
What an amazing season.
And we're going to do...
a recap.
Yeah, we're going to do, like we did on the first season, we're going to do a recap of all the episodes.
We're going to do a recap, and we're definitely going to...
be like an hour and a half long episode of us talking bullshit about the entire season.
I like this name, Fart.
the Fart episode's great. Did we go over that already?
Yeah.
Or is that coming up?
No, that one came up. That was
that was Fart episode. Crumbopulous Michael's a beast.
Yeah.
So many fun things happen this season, bro. I can't wait to talk about it in a more condensed state. But I feel like this podcast has actually ran a little long. We usually have a little bit of time to kind of bullshit at the end.
The good old days.
But I think that we've probably bullshitted on our equivalent of the front porch long enough. I'm certain that the people who are listening are like, God damn it, shut the fuck up. I've got life to live. Or they're like in their bedroom, buried under like a fucking mountain of Monster cans and like Marlboro cigarette butts, and they're just eating this up. They're like, God, just keep fucking talking for me. Yeah, bro, we're at 48 minutes. This is plenty good.
This is beautiful. That's a beautiful time to end, man.
Everybody who's listening, thank you so much for sticking with us. We're about to wrap up season 2. The Portal Boys been podcasting. This is Joshua.
This is Elias.
Thank y'all so much. Peace, everybody.
Monkey mouth. Monkey mouth. Monkey mouth. Monkey mouth.